The Lion and the Little Rabbit. Once upon a time, deep in a vast and lush green forest, there lived a mighty lion. He was the king of the jungle, feared by all the animals. Every morning, the lion would wake up and let out a thunderous roar that echoed through the trees, sending shivers down the spines of every creature in the jungle. The birds would stop singing, the rabbits would hide in their burrows, and even the mighty elephants would tread carefully. The lion was strong, powerful, and always hungry. He hunted the animals daily, which made life miserable for them. They lived in constant fear, never knowing who would be the next victim of the lion's sharp claws and strong teeth. One day, all the animals gathered in a secret meeting to discuss their fate. The monkeys swung down from the trees, the rabbits hopped in, the deer stood close together, and even the tiny mice peeked out from the grass. "This cannot go on," cried the wise old owl. "If the lion continues hunting like this, soon there will be no animals left in the forest." "But what can we do?" asked a frightened squirrel. "The lion is too strong for us." The animals thought and thought until a clever fox suggested an idea. "Let us make a deal with the lion," he said. "Instead of him hunting us every day, we will send one animal to his cave every morning as his meal. That way, he will not have to hunt, and the rest of us can live without fear." The animals agreed, though they were still very scared. The next day, they all approached the lion's cave cautiously. A brave deer stepped forward and spoke on behalf of the group. "Oh, mighty king of the jungle," he said with a respectful bow, "we have come to make an offer. Instead of you hunting us daily, we will send you one animal each morning as your meal. That way, you will never have to waste your energy chasing us, and we can live without fear." The lion thought for a moment, then nodded. "That sounds like a fair deal," he growled. "I accept." From that day on, every morning, an animal was sent to the lion's cave. Days passed, and the lion grew lazier and greedier. He enjoyed waiting for his food instead of hunting for it. One day, it was the turn of a small, clever rabbit. Unlike the other animals, the rabbit was not afraid. Instead, she came up with a brilliant plan to trick the lion. Instead of going directly to the lion's cave, she took her time, hopping slowly and stopping along the way. She played with the flowers, nibbled on some grass, and even took a short nap under a shady tree. By the time the rabbit finally arrived at the lion's cave, the lion was furious. His stomach rumbled, and his eyes burned with anger. "Where have you been?" he roared, shaking the ground beneath him. "You are late, and you are so small. You will not satisfy my hunger." The rabbit, calm and clever, bowed respectfully and said, "Oh, mighty king, I apologize for being late, but I was delayed because of a terrible event." The lion narrowed his eyes. "What terrible event?" The rabbit sighed dramatically. "On my way here, I met another lion. He was big, strong, and very rude. He said he was the real king of this forest and that you were nothing but a coward. He tried to eat me, but I told him I already belonged to the true king, you. That's when he laughed at me and said you were too weak to challenge him." The lion's pride was hurt. "How dare he?" he growled. "Where is this imposter?" The rabbit pointed towards an old, deep well nearby. "He is inside that well, Your Majesty." The lion, filled with rage, ran to the well and peered inside. The well was deep and filled with clear water. As the lion looked down, he saw his own reflection staring back at him. Mistaking his reflection for another lion, the furious lion roared loudly. His voice echoed back at him, making it seem like the other lion was roaring too. "How dare you challenge me?" he shouted at his own reflection. The echo came back, and the lion thought the imposter was mocking him. Overcome with anger, the lion leaped into the well, thinking he would attack his enemy. But there was no enemy, only deep, cold water. The lion splashed and struggled, but he could not swim. Soon, he sank to the bottom of the well. The little rabbit watched from the edge and smiled. Her plan had worked. She quickly hopped back to the other animals and shared the news. The animals cheered and celebrated. The mighty lion was gone, and the jungle was safe once more. From that day on, the animals lived happily and peacefully, without fear. And the little rabbit became a hero, proving that intelligence and bravery are stronger than strength and power. Moral of the story: wisdom and intelligence can defeat even the strongest opponent. It is not always strength that wins the battle, but a clever mind.